Hello again. This video is part two of the video series for Of Mice and Men, developing, setting, and mimicking the author's writing. When you go into Google Classroom, you'll see this, the most recent assignment, which is linked to the first video of analyzing the text. And you should have watched that first video to receive proper instruction and explanation in terms of the analysis. And now we're going to go ahead and complete the second part of the project, which is actually writing a description of your own setting identification. And I'm going to perform an example for you so you can see what the end results should look like. So let's go ahead and read the instructions. It says, on your own, for the supplemental activity, you must identify a location in or around your home that evokes a certain feeling from you. Remember that tone equals emotion. So you're going to essentially develop a particular tone through your word choice and through your descriptions so that the reader, once they have finished reading your writing, the reader will get a certain feeling from whatever it is that you've described. And write a descriptive paragraph which mimics the author's writing. This completed project will be your own written example of setting. So you should have watched the first video, like I said, and next you'll begin to watch this video here. So pause in a few seconds. I'm going to ask that you pause this instructional video and find a location that provides you with a certain feeling in or around your home or on your property. It could be maybe a bedroom that helps you to relax, or it could be a den that has a gaming console and that might generate excitement for you. There's lots of different areas you can go to. It could be somewhere on your property that maybe you're looking at a path that leads into the woods, and that also generates excitement because it has to do with adventure. So go ahead and pause the video and identify a location that you know gives you a certain feeling, and take a picture of this location and go through the process of embedding the image to page 3 of this document. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so you'll see that I went ahead and conducted a sample myself. I decided to take a picture of the dining room in my condo. And the dining room in my condo has, over the years, given me a lot of different types of emotions or sensations. I've shared a lot of holidays around this dining room table with my family. We've had a lot of laughs. But right now, this room is actually providing me with a sense of comfort and stability. And it's because I don't have a home office. And I decided that every morning during this time, with what's going on in the world today with, virtual learning, I needed to create a home office for myself. So you can see in this image, I have a relatively fancier tablecloth. I have my agenda book here, essays to grade, my computer. I light candles every day to create a sense of calmness. And this is a chandelier in the photo with a little frog that was made out of clay that a friend of mine gave to me. And I also have black and white photos on the wall of my parents and my grandparents and my ancestors. So I really love this room because of the colors, because of the pictures of my family, because it's a little bit more formal, but also, I don't know if you can tell on the left-hand side of the picture, there's a different type of light that is pouring into the space. And that's because I have two sliders on this left-hand side, and this is the daylight that is pouring into the room. So it's a little bit of a different type of light. So that's my quick analysis of my space in my room. But what I want us to do is get to the point where we are typing a description of the space similar to what Steinbeck did. So I color coded and highlighted guided instructions for writing, and I'm going to go ahead and perform a sample for you. So the very first sentence of your own description of setting should detail the location. So you can go ahead and type in the space provided. And my example is going to be based off of my dining room image that I just showed you. So I'm not going to obviously tell you my address, but my specific address, but I'll type in Hunterdon County, New Jersey. The dining room, which sits on the top level of the condo, contains objects from both the past and the present. So I included a sentence like this because my computer is from the present, but the photos are from the past. That's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. So that's my first sentence. And it says here that my second sentence should detail temperature. I don't have a thermometer in the room, but I know that the room isn't freezing. So I'm going to go ahead and relate the temperature to the sunlight. The sunlight pours in from the sliding glass doors adjacent to the room. Spelled adjacent wrong. And generates warmth as the sun becomes stronger in the sky. So here I'm just trying to indicate that as the time changes throughout the day and as we get closer to noon and afternoon and the afternoon time period, as the sun gets stronger, the room gets warmer. For the third sentence, I want you to be specific about what you see on the left-hand side of the room, the right-hand side of the room, or east and west if you're outside. On the right of the room are black and white family photos. And the kitchen is to the left. Now let's go back and look at my image really quickly. There's no way of you knowing that the kitchen's to the left, but I know it's to the left because I'm in the room. So I'm going to go ahead and detail that. There are the black and white family photos. And now for the next few sentences, I want you to be more specific about what you hear, see, touch, etc. So now we're focusing on the five senses. So in particular, I was really proud of the color of the walls of the room. So I'm going to go ahead and mention that. The vibrant blue color of the wall brings life to the room. So right now I kind of feel like I'm experiencing a little bit of a writer's block, which is okay. And you're probably going to experience the same thing. And what I want you to do if that happens is go back to your image and analyze your picture. What is it that I didn't discuss yet that can be detailed specifically and talked about in terms of one of the five senses? So these candles don't have a smell really. So I can't really talk about, I can't really detail what the room smells like because it doesn't really smell like anything to me. But what you guys can't experience because you're not literally in the room with me is what it is that I'm hearing. So I can actually add a sentence detailing what it is that I hear. In the corner of the room, I actually have this little cat water fountain for my two cats to drink from. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Because we see here that Steinbeck talks about the surroundings, and he mentions that there's a great skittering. And that's the lizard running across the trees and the sandy bank. So I'm going to go ahead and detail my space doing something similar, talking about the sounds. There is a constant hum of a small water fountain coming from the corner of the room. And one last thing that I want to note that I didn't really mention, I guess, are these 2 empty chairs. I can talk about that in my paragraph description. The empty chairs reflect the time period, which is that we are quarantined and not allowed any company. So through this description of my dining room, so far you should be able to get the feeling from reading this paragraph that it's a room that I like to be in because it's warm, it has sun spilling in. I'm also never really feeling lonely because I'm surrounded by family photos. And it's also a room that helps me feel comfortable because of the vibrant blue walls as well as the candlelight. And although I'm not lonely in terms of my memories, I might be physically lonely right now because I'm quarantined and there are empty chairs about the room. So hopefully this is an example of something that you can follow for when it comes time for you to write your own descriptive paragraph. I need you to use these guided instructions for writing to help you. Remember that the first sentence should detail location, the second sentence should detail temperature, the third sentence should be specifically about what you see on the left-hand side of the room, the right-hand side of the room, in front of you, and maybe behind you. And then the last few sentences are where you should go into detail about what you hear, see, touch, taste, etc. So the last few sentences should include sensory details. When you think you might be done with your paragraph, I want you to take some time to step away from it and actually go back to edit your work later on and add additional words, specifically adjectives, to make your writing more in-depth and more specific. So if you have any questions about this assignment, you can go ahead and email me. You guys know my email address. I can also hop on to do, I guess, a Zoom meeting, or we can talk in Google Hangouts. So however you might need help with this assignment, just feel free to contact me and let me know. The assignment is due, I believe I set it for Monday. Okay, good luck, have fun, and make sure your writing is descriptive and specific, just like Steinbeck says.